Yeah. In the last class, have been discussed about some of the aspects of the design of uh, the DVR. Okay, there. Yeah, up to here. Yeah, where we have seen the current rating of the voltage source converter, and then the voltage rating of uh, the VSC voltage source converter of a DVR, and then the KVR rating of the voltage source converter of DVR, and then the rating of an injection transformer of a DVR, yeah, and then the DC capacitor voltage. It generally they can keep around two times of the voltage source converter value, or two, or root two times of VSC. Two into root two times is much higher voltage. Okay, the VDC which have designed is based upon the maximum rating of the voltage injection. Okay, generally the voltage injection rating, which we take it as 50 percentage of the supply voltage. 50 percentage of the supply voltage. Okay, coming back to the DC bus capacitors, the capacitance which we required is, if there is any kind of a disturbance which is going to occur in the AC side, that rate of change of energy has to be able to withstand over here. That is what half CVD square minus of half CD VDC1 square is equal to 3 times of voltage converter rating plus the rated current to delta T. Delta T is the time in which the rate of change of the energy uh, will be there. Okay, will be there. Here, the considering the delta T is very few. I mean, for a half cycle, for a time period of a point not two, they considered about a 200. Uh, what is a microseconds. Okay. Here the VDC is 50, and then the 50 percentage variation is 1.32.5. It all depends here. Uh, it is like 142.5, and in on which base it is going to occur is, I mean, once you calculate this substitution over here, you get a rate of change of energy over here. I mean, once you substitute the CD value. Okay. Yeah. The rate of change of the energy, the capacitance has to withstand. So for that, the CD value of times of CD into 150 square minus 142.5 into 3 times of the voltage converter into IS into delta T. See, this transient energy change is going to occur generally. uh, it is, they says about there is a change in load, but not necessarily this change in load. Sometimes if there is any fault in the system, okay, that time it may be influencing the DC capacitor, because the voltage source converter is having the anti-parallel diodes. With anti-parallel diode for every switch, there is a chance of conduction of the diode over there. So that is the reason, like, it's not necessary to a change in the load, and it can be considered as the uh, fault in the AC side also. So based upon that, the CDC value will be calculated. This kind of the design of the DC capacitance of the VSC is valid for the a DSTATCOM application also. Is valid for a DSTATCOM application also. Yeah. Coming back to the inductor, which generally used to design based on the current ripple, which is to minimize. Considering the ripple current in an inductor is 2% and modulation index is equal to 1. I mean, Yeah, I mean, this sort of the equation is derived based upon the current flowing through the inductor. Okay, current flowing through the inductor, and also it depends upon the switching frequency with which it is going to operate it. Okay, and then the overloading factor also it depends. M is taken as 1 also. Yeah, this particular equation, there are the different approaches are there in deriving the interfacing inductance. Okay, but not necessary to go through the entire how the derivation is. Generally, the inductance, the interfacing inductance for the VSC, it can be selected depending on the current carrying conductor, especially. I mean, this, if it is a 50 percentage of current, then you can consider it as a 2 percentage. If it is more than, if it is a lesser current is there, then the ripple current will be much more higher also, the percentage ripple current. Okay, they have taken it all current based on the current carrying capacity of your of the particular phase. This particular design value of 1 milli, we got around 0.946 millihenry, 1 millihenry. We can go for 2 millihenries also. Okay. Once after keeping out the system, once keeping out this entire system, just a minute. Yeah. Especially, yeah, this kind of a system, depending upon the current which is the current of ISA, depending on the current nature, we can change over the trial and error basis also. It's not necessary how to go for a design, because the equation which they have gone for the LR is, they have the different approaches in deriving those equations. Okay, because of that reason, I'm just saying that we can design this particular inductance with the trial and error basis also. Okay, even in the practical system also. But also, the whatever the transformer which is there is having some inductance. That inductance may be sufficient to decrease the current ripple also. It may not be required over here also. Okay. Yeah. And then the CR value, I mean, it's obvious like to design to eliminate the switching frequency components or the switching frequency ripples injected over the voltage. Okay, generally the switching frequency they take about 10 kilohertz, sometimes of 5 kilohertz also. Okay, here they taken this as a switching frequency which is equal to Fs by 2, Fr is equal to 5000. Okay, with that we know the CR value, and it has to attenuate the switching frequency components. Based on that, R value has been designed, but the CR value is also I mean, they have considered it as 6.375 microfarad, and then they've gone for it as selecting out one value and taking designing the other value also. Okay. Uh, See, it all typically depends upon the switching frequency with which you are switching on the IGBT. Sometimes you may be operating at the 2 kilohertz. In that case, you have to select the appropriate value of the CR. Okay, even this particular process of selecting out the capacitance and then uh, the resistance to damp out the switching frequency components, yeah, especially this CR and RR. Okay, this also can be done to with the trial and error process, which generally what we select this RR is very low resistance value. Maybe 1 ohm is also quite higher. Maybe you can go for a very lower resistance, and then the CR um, can be selected very higher value also. But in this particular case, they have considered as 5 ohms, and then the CR is got around in this particular case. the CR is RR has been considered 5 ohms, but it is very higher value side of the resistance. Okay, then what I suggest you was to go the higher value of the CR. In that case, your resistance is going to come down. But having the higher value of the capacitance, it don't have much impact. Okay. The value of the resistance, if you have a higher, the more the losses will be there. In that case, the inverter has to drive the losses. Typically, of considering of R is 1 ohm, or even still very lower value is much. It's a good for to reduce the switching losses. Okay, yeah, these are the some of the design aspects of of a dynamic voltage resistor. Dynamic voltage resistor. Yeah. Then the control part. There are the different kinds of the control part are there in the literature. Okay, I'll just try to give about the idea about the some of the control algorithms, which is one is a synchronous reference theory based method of controlling of battery energy supported DVR. In this particular controller, here in this control block diagram, we did not have included the battery supported capacitor. So the control algorithm of battery supported capacitor, we have not included that. We have just included the control of the DVR to correct the load voltage. Okay, here we need to measure the VSA voltage and then the VL voltage, the actual voltage. We'll try to see that figure. This is about the VSA voltages, and these are the load voltages, and these are the capacitor voltage. This kind of, you have to get get familiar with uh, the labels. Okay, yeah, VSA. From there, we are converting to ABC DQ naught. We require to have a theta value we get from the three-phase PLL. Okay. Now we try to measure the load voltages. Load voltages we convert into LD and LEQ. Here we get about we are going to generate the reference load voltage generation. Okay. We get over here the VLA star and VLB star and VLC star. For a time being, suppose we have a system, we have a source. This there is a fault. This is of Vs, maybe this is of Vm, and this is of VL. Okay, there is no DVR, so we get about the VL part. Vs is equal to VL only. Vs is or VL is equal to Vs only. Okay, having this particular in mind, what we get over here is we get the VSD and VQ and VLD and VQ and VLD. Here we are generating the reference voltage here, the VLA star and VLB star with the load voltages. That is, we get around the VL star is equal to something of, if you take, here I just represent it as 0.6 per unit. Okay, here we get VL star as 1, which is required of sine omega t, one of the phases of A. That's what here it has been generated over here. A plus and minus, yeah, plus and plus over here, and then with the load voltage, if you compare the load voltage of it, we get an error over here. We get the error over here. Okay, see here the VLD minus VLQ. minus of VSCD star. This VCD star, here VLD star, and this about the compensator voltage, the reference compensator voltage of VSD star, VCD star. We get an error. And then here the VSD minus VLD, which we gives about the VSD. Here plus and minus, which we are going to about the VCD, and here about the VCD, and the VCD star, the VCD star, here only the VCD star, the VCD or this one we get as a VLD star minus of VLQ is about the error which we are going to get. Okay, that error is added to this particular signal. I mean, yeah. Suppose you think about it's the DVR is start functioning out. The DVR is start functioning out. Think about it. Then actually the load voltages which are we get as equal to 1 sin omega t in one of the phase, maybe 1 of sin omega t minus 120 in another phase, and 1 of sin omega t plus 120 in another phase. We are going to get about these voltages. Once you subtract the source voltage, we get about maybe around if it is source voltage has gone to 0.6, then we get about 0.4 of sin omega t in one of the phase A, and then it tries to convert to VSD and VSQ. That is 1 sin omega t. I mean, I just representing it to time domain, but think about of I'm just giving an example over here, but it should be in DQ naught domain only. Okay, DQ naught domain only. We get the voltage to be injected. Here we are going to get an error over here. Here we are going to get an error, and that error is to be compared over this. We are just going to subtract the error in this particular equation. That is what we get about VDC star minus of VCD. Just maintain here VCD star minus of VCD. Okay, and we are just subtracting the error in the actual value. We are just subtracting the error in the actual value of this one VCD. We are just subtracting. Yeah, VDC star, the error which we are going to get out with respect to this equation. We are getting out the error that is going to subtracted in this particular equation. In this particular equation, we are converted to PI control. Then we are added this error over again back to here. Okay, whatever the value which we get, we are just converting into ABC. That values, the VCA star and VCB star, is compared with the actual values to generate the. From the error, we are going to give the error to this PWM controller, with which we are controlling the gate pulses of a DVR in order to inject this VCA star and VC star, VCB star and VC star. This is about the synchronous reference frame theory. In this controller, we have not included the DC voltage controller because it is controlled by the battery. But only thing is, like, we have too much of transformations here, one, and here this is one, and also this is one. This is also four. Total 4 conversion transformers. Conversion, what is a matrix is there. Again, the ABC to DQ naught, and then the DQ naught to ABC. So these are the 1, 2, and 3, 4 transformations are there. If you go for a time domain, you can really eliminate those transformations. Yeah. Now I try to explain the time domain kind of an approach for a single phase. For a single phase uh, DVR. For a single phase DVR is about the injection transformer. Okay. And here will be a plus and here will be a minus, and we have this particular point. Maybe sorry. Yeah, correct only. Just a minute. Yeah, this you have a capacitor and then the resistance to damp out the switching frequency components in voltages, and we have an inductor over here, and this is a switch. There is a diode. Okay, and this is a neutral clamp capacitor. This is charged with the battery. And this point is clamped to this neutral, and there is a sensitive load. And this is out ground. Here this is of VM, and this is of VS, and this is of VL or VPCC. Okay, I'm just explaining about how we are going to control in a time domain. Okay, first thing is from the VS, we require to get about from the unit template algorithm. We will try to have a picture of a no yeah first thing is in what way we try to operate it is, first I'll explain that. This about the source voltage, maybe a pre-sag voltage, and this about the sag voltage, VSAG, and this about the compensator voltage. In order to, this is a pre-sag compensation. Okay, and for this you will be having this IL is at an angle of 5 degrees. Okay, I mean, keeping in this mind, we require to know about what will be the pre-sag voltage. For that, what we require to have, we require to have the pre-sag voltage. The pre-sag voltage is required, very much essential. With this, what we will trying to do was we will be trying to have over here. I'm explaining in the time domain only. We can do for a time domain, even for the three-phase system also. We need to subtract the actual sag voltage over here, the sag voltage. And what we get was we get a compensator voltage. I mean, we can understand with respect to the phasor notation also. What we require to have, we require to have a storage mechanism, where we should have the pre-sag voltage also. Pre-sag voltage equation we require. Otherwise, we cannot also. So once you do that, we get about a compensator voltage, a V compensator, and then you can have a block over here, and measure this actual compensator voltage, the V compensator. We get about a error. that error can be given to a block of the hysteresis block. From there, we get about of a switching logic. Maybe we can give about S1 and and then the NOT gate to this S2. This is about the S1 and then the S2. Okay. This particular hysteresis block, then you can it's not like that we can use for this voltage control also. We can very well use for this voltage control also. What we can do was error. It's like a maximizing the hysteresis block which is there. The hysteresis block, which is basically workouts based on the error. Okay. The error equation is the V star of compensator voltage minus of V compensator is greater than the value which is of maybe the H band. Maybe you can consider the voltage of a 2% or even 1% of the rated compensator voltage. Rated compensated voltage. What is the rated compensated voltage? Is the 50% of the rated supply voltage. Okay. 50% of the rated supply. We can go for a 1% also. See, the same thing whatever I explained you for the current control, that is very well valid. That is very well. Just a minute. That is very well valid for the controlling the current also. Even in the drive side also, where we when we are controlling the torque also, we can use this kind of the hysteresis block also. Okay. Yeah. Now, if this value is error is greater than the positive, when you get about the V compensator is very higher. What we have to rate is we need to increase this particular compensator voltage. We need to increase this value. In order to increase this value, what we need to trigger on this one is we need to turn on this. We need to apply the plus VDC over here. We need to apply the plus VDC over here. We need to turn on this S1 switch. We need to turn on the S1 switch to be on, and S2 will be off. And if the error is error is less than the value of the H, then it is a negative kind of a signal. Okay, then we need to turn on the S1 should be off and S2 should be on state. See, the diode of that is valid for whatever the explanation which I have given for the D-STATCOM. It is very well valid for a case of a DVR also. It is about a very simple kind of a control technique where we are going to use a time domain approach, and these are based on it is going to have on the instantaneous voltage only, and this is very well is of a kind of a pre-sag compensation. The voltage which we are taking about, it is a pre-sag voltage. Suppose if you want to really do that, the in-phase injection, then we need to have this particular phasor angle, and whatever it is there, if it is 1 per unit of the value, the load voltage, we need to subtract this entire phasor of this equation of the instantaneous voltage equation. This equation we need to subtract the voltage of this. Okay, then we get about the voltage. Of this. Okay, if at all, if you want to do the in-phase injection, suppose if there is an unbalanced voltage sag, if it is an unbalanced voltage sag, then also it can be done. It is not so difficulty. Only thing is like we need to change about this particular voltage, where we need to keep the reference, where we require to keep the your load voltage. Suppose if you want to keep your load voltage at this particular point, then you need to take about this over here. Then you can subtract over the voltage, we get about the compensator voltage. What exactly here, what we are, when you are finding out the voltage injected by the compensator V star, we were have to fix about the load voltage where we required to keep it once after compensating, once after the compensating, that is here it is a Vs. We need to fix about where your VL should be. Either VL should be over here, or VL should be over here, or even some or VL should be over here. Okay, it all depends. Okay, and if it is a kind of a unbalanced system also, we have to uh, mm, especially during the in phase injection, 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 when the voltages are, when the source voltages are, when the source voltages are unbalanced, in that case what we require to do was, we cannot go for a the in phase injection with respect to the sag voltage. What we need to do was, I have explained you in earlier classes, we have to inject with respect to the a positive sequence voltage, with respect to the positive sequence voltage, and then your in phase injection, in phase voltage injection of the compensator. That we need to do. If you want try to make out the in phase injection for a case of the unbalanced voltage, for that only thing is this particular voltage which is required to change, especially this is, that is a VL star, that is a VL star. Here we are, in this particular explanation which I explained you, we have operated to the very in the pre-sag condition, pre-sag voltage. If at all, if you want to go for any kind of operation, this voltage need to be changed. Okay, this is a very simple kind of an algorithm which can be used for the DVR. Okay, this is a time domain approach. There is no DQ transformation, or there is no alpha beta transformation. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there are different other approaches are also there in the literature. You can please go through that. I'll try to supply the material which have been there in the beam sync textbook also. Yeah, here are some of the equations which see, I mean the normal voltage is of around 325 VSA, and then the VPA, it might be the uh, just a minute, I'll try to, yeah, this might be the voltage at the load point, and this is about the source current. We can see here that 326.9 is the fundamental voltage, and the TST is 0.16. Hey. Yeah, the VPA voltage is this, and the source current is of 20 amperes, 20 around 20 peak currents, which is of this. And then if there is a sag over here, there is a sag in the source voltage. You can see over here. Here we can see that. Yeah, this is a sag over here. It is not a 325, it is 259. We can see here your DVR starts functioning. We can have to bring back to the normal voltage. it is not exactly to the value which was expected to be 320, 340, but there is somewhere the drop is much more higher also when you keep the reference voltage to be 338. This what we have achieved is 317.8, and the load current is 18.4. And even the swell condition, it is 394. This is a swell voltage. Okay, the swell voltage. In that case, also we are able to compensate the voltage to bring back to 355.6, and your current is 20.6. See, the DVR, whatever we have studied the algorithms which are very well to the SAC condition. In a for the SAC condition. In the swell condition, what it has to be there? Try to see now. Yeah, we'll try to see that the functionality of the DVR once the SAG starts working here at this particular point. Yeah, this is the where the SAG has been started over here. The fault has been started. It tries to operate at this moment of a time only, but it should not be. See, to detect the fault, to detect the SAG, which we can have to have a half cycle of data. Okay, from this only it should start functioning, but we are comparing the every instant of a time of the uh, comparing the load voltage, and then we are try to trigger on switching on the pulses at every moment of a time. Maybe at this particular from the starting onwards we have operated the DVR, but it should not be, because we need to isolate the DVR when you are not operating into mitigating the voltage sag or the voltage swell. Yeah, next is the voltage swell over here at this particular point is the voltage swell. You can see that there is an improvement in the decrease in the voltage also. We are just maintaining the voltage to the 358 around. Okay. Yeah. This about the complete the DVR in while functioning about the compensating the voltage sag. You can think about how does the voltage swell. During the voltage swell, what exactly the DVR is trying to do was, suppose we'll try to see about this one. This is about the nominal voltage, which we are this is the rated voltage, is the IL of IL having an angle of phi, and this one is the, I can say this is a pre-sag voltage. Pre-sag voltage during the swell, this is the voltage at a source also. I mean, this is the source voltage only. This is the source voltage only. I mean, I consider over here the swell in this way. It is not necessary to be the swell over this way. The swell can be to this way also. This way also. Okay, and even we can have the magnitude of the swell over this way in this much of a magnitude also. These are all related to the swell in the source voltage. Okay, I'm just taking about this example, and then I'll try to explain about what kind I'm explaining how the power flow will be there during the swell. I mean, it is obvious, like in order to decrease the voltage, we have to inject the voltage in the opposite direction. In the opposite direction, that is this way, we need to inject this voltage in the opposite direction. Okay, then the phasor it's going to come over this way. Okay, and then obviously we'll get about of the phase angle of um, right, it is of minus phi, and this is going to come about with respect to IL. With respect to IL, I'm going to talk about it. It might be minus of 180 minus phi. It's 180 minus phi. This is the angle of that. Okay. With this angle, you can understand like the DVR or the series active power filter which is there. is going to take about the real power as well as the reactive power. Okay, what I mean to say that is the DVR or the series active power filter, uh, in order to mitigate the swell, mitigate the swell, the power flow will be in this direction, P plus a JQ. It has to be taken from the source in order to decrease this particular. Maybe if you consider over here, there is a transformer over here. In order to decrease the voltage at this load, this is about the source. For a case of a the swell for the sake of a sag, it is to flow this way. The power, the P plus JQ is to flow this way. Okay, with this phasor diagram, we can understand that the power flow will be there, uh, is taking the real power and reactive power to mitigate the swell which is raised over the Vs. Okay. It's about the swell conditions, but during the cell condition also, in order to store the energy from the source, in order to decrease the voltage, the DVR should accommodate the stored energy also. We require to have a storage capacity. Anyway, we are going to keep about a battery also. We are going to keep about a battery over this, the input of the voltage source converter. This battery also should have a mechanism, or we need to have some kind of a gap of energy to store the energy also, because in this cell also we should decrease the voltage. We need to decrease the load voltage. For that also we require to have some kind of a backup storage mechanism should be there in the battery also. Okay, it is not like we need to charge continuously. We need to keep the battery in a full charge condition. Okay, for a real time application, we should keep some kind of a gap to store the energy in a battery also. Okay, this is about the mitigating the swell in the distribution system. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now.